The wall was green, the wall was tall, but now the wall that we will see fall. Maybe, maybe not. We'll be going to Train where they're taking on Luminosity, and from the looks of it, the last map, they're not going to have their work cut out for them. There's a pretty brisk win there over on Inferno, but now jumping into Train, what can we expect, guys?
I think we can expect that if OpTic are at CT side, it's going to be a quick match. I think they'll basically have a stalwart defense, and I don't think LG will be able to get out unless Yell goes absolutely ham, picks people top green. Oh, he's going to be sliding out to E-Box. That's going to be 2 kills, bomb train. Oh, wait, no, that's Stewie 2K's ability. Yell doesn't necessarily foon out mid and get 3 picks in a row, but he does have the ability to get picks just in a certain style. Well, I think that if LG has any chance here, it's to start CT side.
Well, specifically even looking and reflecting back on last map, right? So you said it yourself. Yell got a slow start. He wasn't as outward as what we would expect him to be over in the Luminosity.
He needs to be a star player. As much as I hate to kind of like place the requirement on the existence of a star player to get a win, I think for this team to beat a team of a high caliber like OpTic, I think somebody needs to step up, right? We saw it with Nekaz getting 130 ADR in a single half against SK. But they still lost the match, right? They need somebody to step up and be a ringer.
Spark the fire within.
Kind of like you do to us.
I know.
Right?
I'll try.
Yeah.
It's you guys empowering me, and then I just bring it back out.
Yeah.
It's a cycle. It's a circle.
You think you could do that motion you were doing with your belt buckle earlier, or is that
just like no? I don't have the belt buckle ready. I need the the belt buckle for that.
Well, either way, on Train, you talk about the importance of a star player. And we've talked about Luminosity. Now, looking at OpTic, who would be their standout? Who would be their star go-to player on Train?
I think on CT side, it's Alu or Mixwell. Mixwell's always had that ability to be dynamic or on the outside bomb train with an op or a rifle. And then on T side, I think it's Magistic Boy. He has kind of that nose for lurking out T mid and knowing the timing, right? Because T mid's one of those places where, once the CTs are feeling pressure at Pop Dog and Ivy, then it's really hard to watch both sides of the T mid, right? Like if you think about it, how do you watch the entrance to Olaf or to back red or somebody walking up Sandwich or even top blue? You basically almost have to have 2 CTs that are cognizant of that opening at one time.
Well, we've talked about Yell not doing as well over in Luminosity. We've talked about what OpTic can do on their side. But in terms of a side to start on in this matchup, which is going to favor which team the most? CTT.
I think CT is always, especially for OpTic, because they have a potential 2 uppers. Mixwell can just whip out the up. Why not? Even though he says he doesn't like it, I think you should do it, As I told Kustas, keep opping or start opping.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird point
when he went to his rifle phase, I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You came here to op. Do that for me.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to get derailed on Akusta, although it does make some kind of sense, right? Like an opera that should be opping. I think Yell definitely needs to figure out how he could inject his dynamic style into their matches. Because I see it when I play Rank Fs with him, right? He makes these super bravado plays, and I can see that he knows when to do it. Maybe he's just having a little more restraint when he's playing in the full match setting.
It's true. I think there's probably a huge difference in a lot of players when they play like a pug or a scrim, and then they come to the match, they're more cautious, they're more reserved, and sometimes that's not the way you should play it. You got to be aggressive, be explosive. You don't have to do it every single round, but you got to mix it in there. You got to just do something wild to change up the pace, mix it up.
You know what they say: scared money don't make money.
Yep. True.
And I don't know who says that.
I think you say it.
I think that was Dan Bilzerian or something, right?
Oh, really?
Like something like that.
Well, I'll tell you what, you guys, we're not Dan Bilzerian, and not to touch on anything that perhaps he does or doesn't do accurately. Let's talk about predictions here, because we're going to Train. We've got OpTic, we've got Luminosity. What are you feeling, Eric?
I'm feeling OpTic, especially from that last match. They just look like they're on point. Luminosity, they're really slow right now. And so I think they should start off slow, just really drag it out, and then I think they might find their footing.
I definitely think it's going to be OpTic. I think I actually picked Luminosity for last map because they have looked good on Inferno in the past, or in this season, actually, so the recent past. But OpTic and Train definitely mix pretty well.
Let's take a look at the Betway odds and see if they agree with what you guys are saying. And, this isn't the crazy odds that we saw at the end of last game, where it's like 10-1 or something nonsensical like that. Well, I guess it would make sense. It was 11-4.
A little bit.
A little bit. speaking a little bit, let's go ahead and bring in the guys who are going to be doing a little bit of the talking here going forward. It's going to be Blue and Launders. You guys ready to take this one away?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, yeah. Then just do it, man. What are you waiting on?
All right, thank you very much. Well, it's time to jump into the second map here now, as we are going to be moving over to Train here to see these two teams take each other on. Unfortunately for Luminosity, falling a little bit flat there in that first map strategically, we now have to hope they can recover a little bit better and bring something else to the table now. But we're going to waste no time. We'll jump right into it, and it's OpTic this time. Let's start off on the T side.
Yeah, let's start off on the T side. We're going to have the pistol round, so there's not going to be too much utility. Freiburg, smoke, flash, Cello, just a heat grenade, and Yell, Kit, smoke. So that's an interesting choice. Kit, it's going to be, instead of a Molotov, I wonder where Cello's going to play if he's going to be the Z rotator. It's actually going into ladder, I think. It's quite curious to use. I mean, it's the pistol, I understand. The nade, I guess, is just because he had that money left over, but interesting choice over a smoke or otherwise. Nice shot from Yell.
The two-man setup at Ivy working wonders right now, as they're also able to hold back Mixwell and Magisk from re-peeking temporarily. However, we still have to deal with the two players that are trying to work their way out from Ladder Room and Ticon too. This is very much going to be an outside execute. Luminosity set up very well to stop this at the moment with the four-man setup out here. OpTic trying to fight right into it. Alu will get the one kill. Mixwell trying to 1v2. Not going to happen, and just like that, it's down to Alu. But with the 2 kills he's gotten, he does bring it down to a 1v2, which is palatable for him. Unfortunately, he doesn't catch showtime there at the bomb train, so that'll lead to his death, and Luminosity taking control at the start of the map.
It's exactly how you want your pistol rounds to go on CT side. You shut down the executes at the choke points. It's your best chance to do it on the with the USPs. You want to keep this distance. We see this long lane at Ivy did benefit Yell as you got those 2 headshots as well. So overall, everything went very swimmingly. And they also stopped the plant or any threat of it. Didn't let OpTic see the bomb site at all. And that's kind of exactly how you want every round to go if you can possibly help it.
So Alu, he's going to be able to take a shot early on here at the very least, getting himself started off nicely from Ticon there, finding one against PKL. Limiting the options for Luminosity just a tad. He's going to look for more here, but I think that the players of LG are maybe going to be a little bit more careful about peeking him out at Ticon there. But OpTic does form up here now in Ladder Room, and Ticon getting ready to burst out onto the site. He'll go for it here. HS, not going to find an HS for himself. And the Mixwell will suffer from this same exact fate. Freiburg, though, walks right out and gets Neckers for free. And the second one onto Yell now. Looking for a third of the train stopper. Stops for a moment to recorrect, and he does get that kill. Not a headshot this time, but they brought down to Showtime, who's going to be taken out by Alu. And there's the trade round from OpTic.
And Freiburg doing automatic from Ladder Room. Oh, actually came out of Ticon as well. Yeah, that's pretty much the same sequence of kills. Third one took a little longer, but that second one on Yell was the final nail in the coffin as far as I'm concerned. One player left on the rotate through Z. Taken out, no problem. That's a sick round from both him and Alu, who we have to mention as he got the opening frag and the last one as well. That Deagle is very powerful in the right hands.
So with that, Luminosity have to go into a force buy of their own regard here. 3 CZs, a Deagle for Cello, and PKL on a scout here. Everybody except for Cello also buying up into armor, so they will look for an aggressive response. OpTic obviously fully armed to the teeth here now with the winning advantage going into their court. And it started off, they're once again going to go back to something they tried to do on the pistol round here, which is the 3-man Ivy push. Luminosity not nearly as much defense setup here as they did have on the pistol round, purely because they don't have the numbers to do this. They did push in a back box also, so they should know that this is going to be an A execute, but still, first frag goes by the way of OpTic. First 3 frags go by the way of OpTic here as they clear out the A site with relative ease. And now it's just those B players that have pushed back over towards Ladder Room through the back B hulls, but unfortunately now will be pretty much boxed out of the site, completely unable to do much.
They didn't choose to do it right at a spawn, but having a crossfire on Ivy versus a walkout would have been a lot more effective. There was no one there to kind of stop them, even though they decided not to use a smoke to help themselves get out. Things can get really tricky if CZ gets that opening kill. There's 3 players stuck in a very long choke point, and they get maybe a little scared that they now have to push out into the site with the fact that they've lost their entry man. So Luminosity not taking advantage of that, instead taking more passive positions within the site, and that's exactly all that OpTic needed to really solidify the win. Also, kind of a rough crosshair placement by Nekas. It was an awkward angle, however, so he did his best. But sometimes your best isn't good enough, Blue.
Yeah, sometimes it isn't. So Luminosity here now have to look towards a full save round as they look to transition into the gun round. OpTic, well, they're going to end up pretty much full buy again here, and they'll quickly go outside. Freiburg just pauses for a minute just to make sure nobody was close up to the trains to try and challenge him, and then over the top he goes. And the first kill already struck in. Magisk, Mixwell, Alu, all picking up frags. Cello does respond with 1, but that's it. Alu clean up shot besides that. And in 18 seconds, we see OpTic taking control.
That's cool. That was really fast. That was like one of the faster rounds that you'll see in a match typically. Very simple stuff. Everybody, their pistols and their favorite angles, losing gun duels right out the gate. So now we move into another rifle round as Luminosity had to take the walk of shame, losing the second round and then having to save twice. Are all up now on M4s and no kits. They don't have enough utility to really play out a long round here. This should be what I don't want to say an easy round for OpTic, but a much more manageable round than what you could typically expect on a full buy versus a full buy. There's no ops to worry about, no Molotovs either. The worst thing that OpTic could do, I'd like to say this right now, the worst thing that OpTic can do right now is try to perform a walkout, because all Luminosity can do really is hold angles. So that would play right into their hands. Did they just smoke both sides? Oh, they missed that smoke.
In the middle, yeah.
Well, that's one way to account for missing smokes. And yeah, look, Luminosity have really bad spots on the outside site. No one's watching Ivy. They have to. This is the worst possible position versus an outer split that OpTic are going for. But it's actually OpTic have used a lot of their grenades too. So
OpTic will move themselves out and they actually do clear things out relatively quickly, even though it is a pretty simplistic move out here. Now Cello's going to be sitting back. Unfortunately, he's caught in a bit of an awkward spot. Yell, however, lines up two. He's going to try to go for both of those kills, and he'll be able to get them. But the problem is now he's the last man standing. Makes the third kill happen, though. And now playing around with the ladder a bit, just to try and scout for an intel. Not going to be spotting much, but he does deny the plant. The molly, however, is going to do massive damage to him, bringing him down to just a quarter of his HP here now as he tries to play out the 1v2. On the train, finally spots someone. Will try to wrap out to look for Mixwell, and he almost gets him. But Mixwell does finally shut him down, giving the round to OpTic.
Yeah, he definitely made that look scary for OpTic, and fortunately for his team, at least did some damage to give them some hope. I mean, these kind of hero plays can really start the ignition on your team, especially when everyone's falling asleep at the wheel. So that was cool for him to get those 3 kills and almost get that 4th. That was close. But OpTic, again, yeah, they performed the outer split. Luminosity had bad spots outside. If they go back and watch the demo, no IV control. Like, they're just sitting all in the middle of the site, exactly where you don't want to be.
Well, PKL, he's going to move out here, take down HS. This one little kill comes out for the CT side to start off the round, but it seems besides that, OpTic are once again just going to completely bulldoze over. Although there's one from Nekaz. They make 2 happen, but he goes down after that in Showtime. He's already been challenged, so he's down to 3 HP. Dives down. Mixwell's waiting in the corner for him, so we'll drop him right out of the air, and that will be OpTic securing another quick one.
Gonna start calling Alu the White Death, because that's the name of that, it's like a Finnish war hero, I think it is.
Oh, from World War I, the sniper.
Something like that, yeah.
He had.
He like wore a mask and killed like 50 or like I don't even know how many people.
Well, it's not only that, but
he was on skis.
He was on skis.
Yeah, it was like versus Russians. They were like, World War II.
Oh, it was World War II.
Yeah, and yeah, he would like go through. Everything was frozen, and he would just like. I'm probably gonna tell this story wrong, but.
Didn't he also have, until recently, anyway, the longest kill ever in combat, if I remember correctly? Like the longest range kill with a sniper rifle?
Oh, yeah.
I think that recently got broken, but...
Yeah, by me in PUBG. 400 meters.
No, I think the kill was longer than that.
Longer than that?
Yeah.
Oh, I meant kilometers.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forget you're Canadian, you're on those units.
Oppression units.
We only work in freedom units here in America. The Yell's gonna push himself forward now, looking for Alu first off the bat. Ooh, he did see his foot. But yeah, Alu backs out of that angle there. He knows. Can't really stick around there for too long without potentially being spotted out. So now both sides of this area are going to be smoked out, but it's just to the left one is fading, so that leaves room for Magist to go. And Freiberg actually pushes out a perfect time, too, as Yell was changing position, so he gets that kill. He will be traded by Cello a few moments later, and up before Alu gets another frag. And now HS on the way out here. PKL finding one from the back tunnels. He's going to be able to take down Magisk, so it's left even, down to a 2v2. It's a bit of a risky plant now, and Alu just barely makes that shot happen, as he was already being challenged by Showtime. But now everything falls to PKL to clutch in a 1v2, and I believe HS is trained to peek for this angle right now. So yeah, he'll go right out, but PKL with the response. And he already has a general idea of where Alu is playing from, so now he'll trade out for the M4. The flash goes over the top, it will partially blind him, and there you go, PKL with the shutdown. The 1v2 clutch, and he finally gives another round to Luminosity.
Oh, maybe the wrong guy is opping. That was really, really clean. That was really clean. And Alu, and that flash really helped too. that flash with the kind of after image burn, I think, on Alu. I don't know if we'll see it here. This is kind of earlier in the round, I think. But yeah, nice couple of kills from PKL. Oh, yeah. Boom. That was dirty. HS had every right to take that fight. No one can get mad at him for it.
So he pulls it off, and will be Luminosity back on the crawl here, but not going to be breaking OpTic just yet. OpTic actually look like they're going to be going for a very fast setup towards inner here, and a very fast execute too. Smokes on the ground. Freiburg doesn't care. They go through it. Showtime making the best of it though, as he gets a double kill. Yell also killing HS, I believe, on outside. So only Magisk and Alu actually make it through into the site. Molly's going to cut off their cross a little bit here, so Magisk will try to push forward. Oh, he actually finds a great spot on top of the smoke, but he's detected by Cello very quickly there. They'll trade him back out. Alu tries to get a corner shot off on a PKL. He skirts out of the way of it. Alu's going to try to creep forward into the open here. He knows PKL's on the bomb. Oh no! He misses the point-blank shot while he wasn't even moving. And that'll be his death. PKL takes him down. Luminosity go up to 3.
Oh boy. So you don't. I guess maybe a little bit more impressive to be the actual White Death because you don't actually respawn. But damn, this is pretty bad. Oh boy.
Wow. A little bit of a brain fart there.
Oh man.
Aim fart.
The Draken.
Hot Alu in its definition right there, unfortunately. So hopefully he can recover a little bit later on. Just a bit of a mess up there, but that will give Luminosity the round. And so, let's see here, as this should be one of OpTic's last buys before they're broken again. Money should be getting relatively low at this point with the second full rebuy coming in. And Luminosity, with a round like that, will get a great chance to build up their own economy and prevent themselves from being immediately rebroken here, should OpTic now trade these 2 rounds back. Yell moving back in with Cello. They spot Alu peeking out from right side again. Now, I don't think they've successfully moved in before to be able to spot, who is that? Mixball, yeah, sitting on this left side here. So they might still get surprised by that if they were to go in, but it looks like they call it off, fall back towards E-Box, and obviously sandwich lane here for Yell, as they are going to sit back and just wait for OpTic to make the push.
T-Con control meta is a very interesting topic. There's the aggression, the re-aggression, and the way that T's play it versus when to take it and when not to. It's like a newer thing that people are doing, but everyone's doing it so often now that it's starting to get to a stage of like strong development. They actually are making their way out of T-Con though.
1-for-1 trade to start it back off, but Yell, like I said before, was waiting, gets himself on top of the train, does miss the ladder, so he's got to reposition, but nice! Comes swinging out for the ladder, and as soon as he lands on the ground, pops off Alu, takes him down. Magisk, now the last man standing in a 1v4 here. So trying to lurk back in. Yell wanted to go for the trick shot again. Not going to happen this time, as Magisk will shut it down. Nades against Magisk will knock out about a quarter of his HP as he tries to creep forward. Time also obviously very low here too, so he does get taken down. And now Luminosity sit just 1 round away from a tie.
Yeah, this is weird. They do get outside. Yell, obviously, having a lot of good impacts here. Very good. Gets up top of the ladder. I think he was getting burned, so that's why he went up initially. But then after that, yeah, that was nice. And the ladder noise made it seem like he was on top of the train still, so that played into his favor. Kind of disappointing to see that OpTic just went for like the straight up rush B through the smoke on that previous round, and on this round kind of fall flat on their faces on the execute. But the hold outside is very legitimate from Luminosity, and they definitely have a lot to be proud of. Now in the default, we've got a couple players going inner. Cello here holding down ladder, but OpTic already making ground. PKL looking for a shot. Nice reaction time on that shoulder peek.
So the double kills start things off here for LG. And OpTic, unfortunately, on the secret round, don't seem to get much going this time. It's a little bit different than what we saw back on round number 2, where they were able to eco upset against Luminosity. And now, well, the remaining 3 are going to try to execute, but the bomb, it's going to have to go past Cello. We can see the ladder dance there as Alu spots the trouble and ends up going back up on top. I'll probably just regroup with the ladder players. If they survive that long, then yeah, they won't. Alu is going to end up wrapping in to find that none of his teammates are left alive here, and that now he's penned up against a 1v5. PKL, I think, is the player playing backlane over there, but all right, there goes Cello. Spots the second one on top of a train out into the open, looking for another pickup here. They'll miss those shots, getting low on ammo here now too, and Showtime peeks as he's the second player to come back in from those back holes, and he'll take him out.
That was a nice shot, and you could see he had a good understanding of like where every kill was, even didn't peek too far versus the Opper, who was obviously going to be in Z. Even almost found that last kill just in the nick of time. There's PKL capitalizing on a shoulder peek. Missing a couple shots afterwards, but yeah. A second and not a bad round overall. Luminosity, again, looking a lot stronger suddenly after OpTic went up for 5-1. Buy versus buy. However, a slightly new beast. IV control being tested. I like seeing Luminosity have like someone here dedicated. I hope they don't recede into those positions in the middle of the sites. I think they did that because they were low on utility, but it was still strange to me and it didn't work out that well.
Well, now we see OpTic getting prepped up here now to re-execute. Alu, in the meanwhile, doing a pretty good job here so far, despite that little slip-up that we did manage to see there. As I believe he holds one of the leading totals here for OpTic on their team. Indeed he does. He's on top of the fragging count right now for the squad. Yell, however, inside of the smoke there. Might have actually had a small window. I wasn't sure how deep he was in the smoke, but yeah, it looks like it's nice and flush. So it is through the smoke, more than likely to take down Magisk early on. Pops him right off. And again, OpTic's going to have to start off fighting for behind this time, as they're going to make a push inside. To the left they go this time to try and challenge Nekaz. It's a success as they take him down. And now they'll quickly wrap, I believe, towards inner here, as they have two other players getting ready to re-entry through the ramp. But Luminosity might already know that this is happening. Look at this, PKL just standing right in the way. They're not going to expect that. 2 quick kills for them. Great reads coming out from LG. And they've already dispatched of one of the players coming down the ramp right now. HS sitting behind the bomb train. PKL takes out Alu now. And for HS, he's not going to last much longer either, as PKL spins around to take him out.
I'm just really not sold on the B splits through Ivy. Sometimes I think like some rounds like pistol, I think it's a little bit more effective than others, but that was nice to smoke. A big reason they lost straight up is because Yell was able to get that 5v4. But when you go for the B split through Ivy, which is a strat people have been doing for decades, almost literally decades now, the only thing is that you give the CT so much time to go from Z to watch back lanes that. And if they want to cancel it and go A, they still have to come up old bomb, which is a huge, long, like terrifying angle that you can see all the way to ladder from. So, and we just see so many people just get stopped when they get into CT spawn and they try to come through the back of B site. So I feel like I need maybe another lesson or another perspective on why that split is actually so effective, because I just see it fail so many times.
First pause being utilized here now by OpTic, as they will take a moment to themselves to figure things out, but it's going to be a quick pause as we're used to seeing here, same as the last map, so they're going to dive right back into it, right back into the fight. Well, here we go. Let's find out now, as it's going to be just a half buy this time for most of OpTic. They will have decent utility behind it, so we're probably not going to see too much success just yet, especially now with Luminosity going up to the double op setup now, not just PKL, but Yell also going, or excuse me, not just Yell, but PKL also picking up the op this time here too. Having the extra firepower certainly should help them out. For OpTic, what's the game plan here? They built a lot of utility, but how exactly are they going to use it to execute?
They're just using HS. This is kind of pug strats where they're using HS, single man fake, no actual person committing on an eco. Everyone else going to throw stuff outside. They're going to hope that T-Con doesn't get mollied to hell, and they're going to try to go for a plant. Oh, actually, they're going to go to Ivy. Interesting.
They're going to wrap back inside through Ivy here, out into the open now. Luminosity obviously hears all of this. They're going to get ready for the fight, moving out. 1-for-1 trade to start. Yell's got this op angle, trained up over to the Deagle quickly, trying to take down Magisk, but actually Alu pushing out from T-Con, surprised a little bit there. Tries to go for the op though, and that's the over-aggression that seems to kill most of this hit from OpTic, as Cello's going to be able to trade out both of those kills. Magisk, he's picked up an AK, so he's got something to work with here now, but Showtime, nicely done. Just has the keyhole angle there to take out Magisk and close out for Luminosity, now secure with a 2-round lead.
I guess there's more thought that went into it than I initially thought, so that was cool. I actually like that they threw their smokes and went Ivy instead, because I just foresaw them throwing all their smokes over T-Con, and then ultimately T-Con getting mollied and naded because Luminosity have so much more utility, and them not getting out at all. But that made some sense. I like that they're being creative about it. But unfortunately, they get a bomb down. Great hold from Cello in particular to really shut down that Ivy aggression. No damage dealt there, as Alu did have a small opportunity to do some damage.
HS in the meantime did end up getting hit though, so he's down to 13 HP. That might have been the wallbang actually.
Oh yeah, it must have, yeah. From the side outside.
Yeah, it was either that or he tried to go down the ladder quickly, but I don't think he would have had time to do that and be back up there by the time we went to his perspective, so I think it was the wallbang. So he's going to be that low. Now kind of has to hang back. He's also the bomb carrier too. But OpTic are going to move most of their players into these halls now to get ready to go for an inter-execute. Magisk probably just going to come in late on Ivy to try and kill anyone. He's actually been pretty unsuccessful so far with his Ivy pushes. He's been pretty much getting knocked out almost every single time. So Luminosity have been doing a fantastic job making sure that stays that way. And Magisk will actually decide not to entry in through here. He'll fall back. We'll just check in with him later and see where he ends up going. As OpTic are now prepared to go for this 4-man inter-execute. Luminosity, no signs of rotate from the A players yet, but they do already have 2 committed with PKL watching upper and Showtime hugging the left wall here, watching the ramp play. Just delaying it for a little bit more as the timer continues to run down. They do have the necessary utility in order to go for this execute, and finally, the nades will spring out, which means we should see rotations coming in soon. Showtime, I mean, that first nice little kill off there for the CTs, and they'll quickly fall back behind the bomb train. Trying to pre-fire here, no success there, but they do catch Showtime. PKL, however, trading it back quickly, and now HS pushing forward. Low HP for him, but he makes another kill happen before ending up going down to Cello. And now as the plant happens, we do end up in a 2v2, but the CTs are rapidly pushing forward. Alu having to duck down here. He's not going to be able to survive it, though. Yell gets into too good of a position, and they're both lined up, ready to take on either player that would push back, either position, excuse me, that last player would push back out from. They shut him down relatively easily, and it's another round for LG.
Yeah, another round for LG. They looking very solid on the hold, not giving OpTic any ground whatsoever. OpTic are just going back to basics right now, regular A hits and B hits, and their eco rounds look kind of creative, but that B exec that they're doing, it's kind of falling on its face, and you know, the hold has been pretty good though. I think it was like Showtime to get that first kill from what I call Dennis, which is just behind that angle behind the bomb train against the wall, which is just such a good angle to work with. But yeah, it's just straight up good individual performances on the sites for the holds. 2-3 as we set up into the second last round of the half. A little bit of damage done to Alu. PKL crossing once he spots one outside T-Con. Mixwell gets his first head. PKL
getting that first kill, but oh, Neck is actually getting overwhelmed. The problem is Al took so much damage from that, so now he's going to be low. Showtime, oh, a little bit of an awkward situation for him. HS apparently kills Mixwell in the mix there. And PKL, well, he's going to trade up another kill here in favor of the CTs as he takes one out. He's going to go over to the CZ. Yell helping out with that a little bit as the confusion comes in, but Magisk also pushing out there, gets the kill against Yell and puts this down to a 1v1 with PKL being as low as he is too. Tries to wide swing and catch Magisk off guard, but that's not going to happen. Finally, a clutch from one of the members of OpTic, and that will put them back up on the board.
Oh, it looks like HS actually shot his teammate. Oh, in the smoke, yeah.
Full spam, too.
Yeah, I think the funny part is that he actually... Oh, he didn't even get the kill on Showtime either. So he had the cognizance to know that he's got to kill this guy who's, you know, in the smoke. But ultimately, yeah, because his teammate was also shooting at him from Ivy. Kind of a crazy round overall. Hard to follow. Not too much strategy involved, I want to say. Just fast smokes outside, opening up after that initial kill. Another rush into B. Wow.
From the looks of it, it's not... Wow, that was very messy from OpTic here. They get in, right? But they still only have 2 players left alive. The smoke to cover up the molly happens so late. Alu's flank accomplishes nothing. Freiberg's going to try to quickly push out ladder, see if he can find an opening on this site. And he should realize it now that there are players behind the bomb train. So yeah, Yell's just going to swing out, take him down, and there we go. It's a very quick closeout to the final round there, but indeed, a bit of a different story this time as Luminosity hold control 9-6. Stick with us, guys, to find out if they can keep that control or if OpTic are going to come together now on the CT side.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, the City of Odense, GeForce GTX, Lenovo Legion, Bedway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.
And welcome back once again here, folks. We're into our second map of our first series here tonight with OpTic Gaming taking on Luminosity here. Luminosity has showed up brilliantly for the CT side on Train, but the big question is, can they keep it together on the T side? As that was their big issue back on the last map. That was Inferno, of course, the folks that didn't see that. Yeah, it almost feels like, to me, OpTic have a lot more to prove just because towards the end of that half, we saw, I think, 3 B rushes on like full rifle rounds, twice through a smoke, once through a Molotov even, and it seemed like the desperation set in and they couldn't really figure out why. It doesn't seem like they were very comfortable playing as slow as they wanted to, and then that's kind of why they failed to come up with anything else and decided this is our best chance, just group up and hit something. So I'm wondering about how prepared they feel right now on Train, if things have changed a little bit, or if they just got lazy. I can't tell. But either way, Luminosity definitely made the most of that half after being down 1-5. Pistol round out in the second half, critical one, obviously, as per usual. Shout out to 3 Clicks Phil, made a video about this, kind of discussing whether or not the pistol rounds are too important. Recommend watching. Well, Magiska's gonna get this first kill off here now to start off the second half pistol. I'll take him out of the mix. Luminosity still with most of their players pushing in. They have the bomb in the back house here, so this is a bit interesting as they have Cello going all the way out. He's going to be quickly shut down by HS. And now they'll route the other players towards Inner here. They still have the 2-man setup on Inner, but Jiska's going to be a little bit overwhelmed by that as he finds himself on top of the bomb tray. They're not able to respond, but now everyone else rotates back in. Seen it was a little bit uncoordinated there from Luminosity. But they do get the plant at the very least. They're going to have that third round buy enabled now, but the post plant, unfortunately, is not going to really come together here. PKL getting 1 kill, trying to hold against the push from HS, but it won't be successful. OpTic take the cake here and now go up 7-9. HS very consistent on those pistol rounds. Useful player to have around in a situation where you've got to perform the comeback. OpTic are most likely going to be looking forward to a CT side. Still disconcerting the fact that they gave up so many rounds later in that half, but Luminosity, as you mentioned, are going to have their own demons, having to figure out how to play a good T side versus a team like OpTic, who have probably the most individual skill per player in EPL. But besides maybe, actually, I don't know. That's a toss-up, I think, between Cloud9 and Liquid in themselves, in my opinion. They're gonna quickly dive down, and oh, they actually get the first kill here. For good flash on site too, so this is gonna blind them a little bit. It seems like the 2 players on the left side of bomb train, they'll hold it off very well, taking out the rest of the players to try to push out ladder quickly. So the bomb is gonna try to execute towards Inner. PKL looking for 1 with the clock, not gonna happen. Showtime trying to rush the second plant, won't happen though. Magisk is there, ready to shut it down. And OpTic now 1 round away from the tie, as Luminosity will get this third round by going. Unfortunately, because they don't get that second plant, they're not going to have the greatest amount of utility to support it. Primarily just the AKs and a couple smokes and flashes. Yeah, there's a direct correlation between like that plant and all of their utility that they're missing on this round. Is you go armor AK 3700, and then the plant gives them all those extra flashes, nades, and options basically to play a round as long as one that we have in CS. HS will go back and still playing that usual position that we've been seeing OpTic play for quite a while now. They're inside of the ladder room, so he'll be ready to take fights here. And his first target, Cello decides to commit here, is going to be against him. But this could still go the other way. We'll find out. 4-man on Ivy, definitely going to be a little bit heavy. Would not be too surprising to see at least 1 or 2 of these players route away towards T-Con. Right now, themselves propped up, ready to push back in. Smoke response, but Yell can still see over that. It's actually amazing they got Yell up here without being spotted in the first place. So this is surely going to be a surprise for Freiburg there. And Yell moves in, taking out Freiburg. There we go, there's the first kill for him. Alu now responds. Does he expect 4 players, though, is the big question. And yeah, I was questioning whether we were going to see this or not. They do start to wrap over towards CT. PKL also takes down Alu, too, so that's the outer site now open as well. I thought originally they were going to wrap towards Inner, but now the plan shifts to outer because they get these 2 kills nice and early on. And that site's going to be relatively free for the taking. You have 1 player in ladder, 1 guy trying to wrap towards CT, and he doesn't even notice that Yell's already out here, so he gets another free kill. No room for a trade on that. Just HS and Mixwell now. Mixwell hiding in heaven. He can probably have the most impact. They're pretty much going to expect HS. Most of the kills do have to come from Mixwell. He goes out and finds the first one there, looking for another by E-Box, but goes down directly after that. And like I said, HS was expected, so they take him down pretty quickly.
Gotta love this play from Luminosity through and through. You have the Ivy control with Yell getting boosted up, and the right side smoke to have Freiburg feel comfortable peeking in front of it, knowing they've thrown a smoke of their own. Getting that kill straight up outplayed him, and then after that, pushing up to Ivy, having Yell peel off, but not everybody go for that inner wrap is what it initially looked like, and then just punishing Alu on the outside site, having Yell still get a kill and be very patient in CT, knowing that he gave up that information, and getting the better of Magic Boy, who tried to be very patient himself. So overall, every single kill there came from just kind of a tactical or strategical outplay, I should say. And it's very impressive for a T round there. They didn't even use that much utility as well, which was the coolest part, I think.
So Luminosity now looking for options again on that execute here. We're spreading their players out. OpTic obviously on this full save just decided gamble stack this time. They're going to put 4 players on inner. Obviously not the greatest hopes of really doing much here. Freiburg will be the only one that can impact from outside. And with Luminosity probably going into execute here in any second, we should expect Luminosity to go up to an 11th here, since unfortunately OpTic make the incorrect read as far as the site defense is concerned. So that should let Luminosity in relatively scot-free towards outer.
Yeah, you would want to say. It's always good to have on an eco round, have like one person stay on the other side, just because like that can help you call for rotates a lot faster. But in this situation, you know, Z is going to be the first place where they expect people to come through. Freiburg somehow gets the first kill. Yeah, leaving everyone else to scramble.
So the rotates are going to be on the way. Freiburg goes down, so doesn't really get to make much use of that gun that he picked up there. And like I said, yeah, really not much of a hope for these other 4 since they're just on default pistols to do much in terms of a retake or even exit power. You can see Cello just trying to take some target practice onto Magisk, and a few of the others trying to cross through back halls. PK in position to try and catch them as they will more than likely attempt to go out towards Ivy here. A little bit dodgy here now, and actually 2 more kills for OpTic. Something's happening here now. Nekis and the others trying to hold on. The timer is low, but if they can get on the bomb soon, they might still have a chance at this now. No kid, unfortunately. So with the killing of that one player, that does seal the deal, and Yelp is going to be the one to save it, but still, massive damage done. Way beyond my expectations, at the very least. Yeah,
how the hell did they even get all those kills? They kill 4 people. They keep an AK, which is exactly as much as Luminosity are able to recover, and they got the bomb down in a 5v4, I think. No, it was 4v5 because Freiburg got that opening kill. But yeah, there's really sick pistol shots being hit on every single person. None of those kills should have happened. So as we can see, that damage taking effect on Luminosity, who have not enough money to buy on 3 players next round. That's a very big victory at a pivotal moment, but it is OpTic who are at a round deficit ultimately, and Luminosity looking already very good on their T side.
Alu able to find one. Neck is really struggling with the spray, but it looks like Alu missed the second shot too, so that's going to let Nekis stay alive. HS did not go to ladder in this time, however, so he's right next to here. He's going to walk right out, and there you go. Nicely positioned. He's able to find Nekis, taking him down, and now trades out for the AK. He's got the better rifle. And wrapping around here, Showtime will put him down relatively quickly. Tries to go in for a second kill. Cello does steal that away from him, but Alu now trading back on to Showtime. Keeps the advantage alive for OpTic. Maybe not for too much longer, however, as Luminosity do make the room they need in order to get up to this site. Cello's even going to push into Z now, and this will evolve this hit into an interplay, as they can take much better control. They should know there's no CTs hiding out in here anymore, and it's a free plant for them.
Yeah, you can see the power just completely change hands as the bomb rotates to inner, and Cello gets this forward aggressive position on the inside side. It's really cool to see how everything changes with just a few steps to the right. Now Freiburg on the big rotate in. Cello realizes that no one's pushed in yet, so watches for the long flank, and that leaves Alu in a very precarious spot with the op on the retake. Nice shots, but there it is. Yalta trade. 1 for 1, and Luminosity win another round. A very cool round as well, where they have the information, they know exactly how to get to B, and they know that B is going to be empty, and that they have to they watch for they only have to watch for CT rotates. So awesome stuff, man. Gotta say.
Yeah, great adjustment there after a somewhat lackluster execute going out towards outer there. And they make that nice play in order to go towards inner. And as you put it best, the complete power shift there from OpTic having complete control over the round, it seems, to Luminosity suddenly taking it away with that 1 kill and the quick rotate towards inner.
What was that game? It was like Indie Game or something. Did you watch the documentary?
Yeah.
Fez, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know his name, but I know his face.
It's like where the worlds change, where you're like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So that's what that kind of reminded me of, like switching from A site to B site,
yeah,
and how everything just turned around.
quick cleanup there. OpTic on another full eco round. For those that missed it, didn't really accomplish too much. I think they kill one player, maybe? Maybe even didn't get a kill there. Anyway, they close it up pretty quickly, and now they sit just 3 rounds away here from being able to push up towards 16 and trade these maps out, going 1-1 for the night. Trying to keep OpTic a little bit lower there on the records, maybe leaving a chance for another team to pass them and dethrone them from their current #1 rated spot in the league.
Double ops here for the CTs. Maddest Boy spotting inner, throws a Molotov after spotting 1, and knows that they could potentially cross, falls back to safer ground, calls for a rotate in. That makes it a 2-3. Showtime outside, pushing up to hell. Alu is not going to be awares of this, but Freiburg from the back lanes makes up for it. Assists his teammate.
Saves it for now. And Luminosity, now let's see if they're going to group up and still try to go towards inner here. Only down 1 player. They've been able to make up for this before with good adjustments and good utility usage, so we'll see if they can line it up again. And it does appear as if they're going to try to go inner. PKL falling back towards T-Con, getting ready to move in. We have the T's mollying out right by ladder room here. HS knows this is happening though, so he's going to push up. He already spots 1 player trying to push back in. That's going to potentially reveal their intentions. No sign of a rotate just yet from OpTic. Albert certainly raises the question. Has no yell. He's going to be pushing out, hoping to see HS there to take him out by E-Box. What's going to happen here? And now as they move in, there's a good flash that's going to let Alu get this nice free peek out. Trade him. PKL is going to be the one to get that kill a second later. Nekkes tries his best to stand ground and make some momentum happen for Luminosity, but none of it works out here. Molly should isolate the Z player at least, and PKL actually takes down HS. But yes, the bomb sits way in the backside over there, so they have to go up and retrieve it, and now they're going to make this inner switch happen again. They won't expect this for the 2nd time in a row, as PKL is still doing a good job of distracting. However,
They think it's outside still? How long are they going to think it's outside? PKL needs to make noise.
Oh, they know.
Okay.
Yeah, they realize it now. So they're going to start rotating in, and that's PKL's cue to go back inside. Unfortunately, Yell misses this first shot. He still, for a second there, had a player up on top of Orange Train. Missed the opportunity. But the good news is he's not overpeaking. He's not overextending his bounds. Make sure to stay safe right now and stay alive. That'll leave PKL in a position to come back in and help out as he's now come down the ramp. They have restricted themselves this very small amount of real estate, but OpTic are also not doing the greatest job of getting back in here. They still have to find PKL taking him down. They don't have a lot of time to defuse, but I think with that kill, they should just be able to do it. And OpTic will go up to 9 here.
Yeah, they kind of messed that up. I mean, on the, like, if you waited for with the amount of time that was left on the clock, all he had to do is wait for at least the defuse to come up for a few seconds. I think you wanted to peek early because obviously that guy could have been covered, but yeah, that was definitely very close. And first of all, good distraction by Pickle. If he made some more noise outside, I think he maybe could have held the rotates for even just a little longer as well, masking the sound of the bomb, having them distracted, knowing that they had outside control and they probably would have planted. But the retake was sick, and Yell played that so perfectly as the opper, like never peeked into Mixwell, and Mixwell played it just slightly better than him, finally predicting where he'd finally be at the near the end of the round there. So kind of good from both sides, I'd say.
So they're going to move forward here, getting ready for an Ivy execute to go inside. Hallow and Freiburg both sitting on the outskirts of Ivy, ready to fire back if need be. Let's wait for Luminosity to start popping up for this too. PKL looking for his opportunity to swing back out, but he swings right into Alu's point of view. So that's going to allow him to pick up the shot there. And again, an early advantage to OpTic. Also probably going to see these guys start to go down ladder room here.
Oh, they're going to molly the back of it. Oh, whoa, did they miss it?
I think they missed it. It's burning on top there somewhere, so they smoke him instead.
And they flash themselves, fall down into a smoke, and then can't get out. But they somehow get ladder control. Question marks, profit.
They can't do much with it, unfortunately, though. I think this was actually a CT smoke now that I'm looking back at it now. After he throws the molly, well, he's using all of his nades right here.
Yeah.
He tosses it in, and we'll get back some control. They're still blind, too.
Oh, who's going to see who first? Oh, he's reloading. Wow, that's risky.
All right. So HS kind of throws his life away there. I guess he assumed they might have gone back up due to the pressure from the nades, but no, they stay down there. They keep their ground, so HS is going to throw his life away. Alu quickly trades it back, keeps the man advantage in favor of OpTic for right now. Nekkes is going to swing out there, goes right past Freiburg's spray. He's not able to hold it, takes down Mixwell too. Freiburg wide swings, he'll get one, but then does go down the Nekkes. The time very low once again, but Luminosity does have the real estate to plant it here. With about 6 seconds in excess, they get it onto the ground. And now Magisk and Alu will rotate in from inner to try and retake, but Magisk does not last very long. As soon as he moves out from the Ivy Ton, Alu will be left alone. Now he's got to push forward, looking for the potential to clutch. Nekis, though, they've seen him now. And he'll be the closest to Ali to try and take him down, but Yell will finish the job off anyway. And Luminosity recover after starting off a little bit dodgy there to win this very important round.
It's near impossible to win 1v2 outside when everybody knows what position. Well, once the player in the one is the player who's left alone has been spotted. It's near impossible for him to, like, with the trains to work with, find both kills. So there was very little chance for Alu there, but it was a good attempt so far. I've been very impressed with Luminosity's T side every single round. It's been kind of a struggle. OpTic have made it as difficult as possible, but they've come so close to even winning rounds that they had no business doing, with great rotates and adaptations, mid-round calls, and far more impressed with Luminosity's T side than with OpTic's, for sure. OpTic's was a lot more execute heavy, and I think maybe that's just like the kind of the style I favor. I like the mid-round calling. I like the adjustments. I like to see, you know, what you do when there's like a fire lit under your ass. You know what I mean? Not what you do out of spawn. But OpTic, after losing that round, are actually in danger now of just straight up losing the match. 3 pistols, half armor on everybody, and 2 scouts. A full-on force buy.
So Luminosity, oh, Yell in a great position to get a kill. And what's even worse, Mixwell gets the trade back there by taking out Yell with just a scout in hand. So goodbye to Yell early on here. He dies trying to go back inside of T-Con. PKL presented with an opportunity to trade, and he does succeed, catching Allen a nice little swing flick there.
Yeah, that was a weird shot. That was like the Dreamcast logo.
yeah, the swirly. Yeah. Nekis will also find a kill here too, as they catch a Magisk trying to swing up a ramp on inner. And HS, ooh, this could get interesting as he's swinging out from T-Con right now.
Crosshair placement.
He expected. No, it was just a little bit to the left there. So he doesn't get it on the first shot, and that seals his fate. Showtime gets the kill there instead. OpTic now down to just 2. They'll split it 1-1, and that means if either of these players go down without at least 1 or 2 kills, the round probably very much over, especially with these just being 2 scouts.
Yeah, as the pistols do all the work. And you can see with the pistol damage that if the scouts had hit these guys at first, they would just be dead by now. But you can't always like plan to have your scouts take first contact, though. Even though a lot of that came down to T-Con. Actually, Mixwell is one of the players to get a kill, so there's that. Bomb goes down, 4v2, inner control, smokes are out. If they win this, I'll PayPal you 20 bucks.
Well, PKL's going to take down Freiberg here, so Mixwell, yeah, he won't even attempt that. He'll fall back. He'll go for the save. That will be Luminosity now going up to map point here. 3 players over 20 kills now, too, with Showtime not far behind at 15 there. Meanwhile, on OpTic, you do have Alu and Magisk to a certain degree showing up to the party, but the others, not so much.
I was glad that James brought up that Yell had kind of a quiet map on the first map, so it's like something I just kind of realized at the end, too. It's like, I don't remember a Yell flick. You know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, he had like that one opening kill on Banana, and besides that, overall, a very quiet game, but in this one, it's looking a lot more proactive on CT side and having much more visible impact. And here we're gonna watch that Dreamcast logo.
Whoa! Nice. That was the what's that? That swirl. It's like the prime angle or something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the golden ratio.
The golden ratio.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that shot was the golden ratio.
There you go.
There. So there you go. Now Luminosity have their chance to close it. OpTic isn't even going to have a better buy this time. In fact, it's worse. They only get 1 scout going, just upgraded pistol. They will have better utility. But now, since they know they're in a rough patch, they're going to take some risks. And to start, it pays off. They actually find PKL early on here. We didn't get to catch that. Yell's also going to get pressured inside of T-Con here. He'll be smoked out now afterwards. That should keep everyone else alive.
Core tenet of good Brazilian Counter-Strike is knowing when to regress. There we see them poking back into T-Con control, even though it looked like OpTic were clearly trying to take control of it. Cello is going to be able to get away with this lurk. No one's actually watching from Z, and will most likely either get all the way to Z or be able to hear or see someone soon. There it is. Mixwell making noise.
Cello, they're not paying too much mind to that as he's watching for rotates from inner. They move in. Magisk does have that spot on upper. I believe Luminosity have seen it, and Cello is going to be in a rough patch here now, but he holds control, at least until Mixwell gets up on that jump up. He's going to be able to trade at the 1 kill. Showtime found Magisk too. So it is a scout and an up trying to clutch 2v3 here now. Using their last real big grenade here. Nekis, some nice movement there to get out of dodge. And with Mixwell going down, it's just Alu looking to clutch here. Doesn't even have a lot of real estate to play off of too. Spots the player going up on Tanker, completely blinded out by an over-the-top flashbang pop. That's going to send him back down into the depths of the train yard, trying to flank around and at least kill Nekez here, but still has to look for that 1v2. He does have a kit, but he's wasting so much time just going for this one frag. He'll walk up, he gets it, but now what's he going to do? He doesn't have a smoke to cover that molly out. The flashbang will go over top. They'll just try to play this out. He actually gets the kill on ladder, goes for the last one too, but not going to happen. It's Showtime closes it out for Luminosity, and they will take control here on Train, turning out the maps 1-1, setting each team up 1 loss and 1 win for the evening in the rankings.
Even though recently I think Luminosity have had mixed results, we've spent a lot of time talking about how actually like they're quite good, I think, and I'm glad to see both Yell stepping up on this map, and then on top of that, them looking a lot better on their T side than OpTic did. That was the most impressive part for me.
All right, well, looks like we have the analysts standing by, so let's bring it over to them to finish breaking down this set. Guys?
Hey, thanks, man. Hey, so we got a split map situation, and what did you guys say that this one was going to be before we went to the game?
I said that this one was going to be a clear and cut OpTic victory, especially if OpTic start CT side, so all of the conditions were there for an OpTic victory, right? And they didn't do it.
What happened?
So there's one key round that I think we're going to show soon. But basically, in general, across the entire match, I think it was individual plays that were kind of like lack of focus on the side of Luminosity. I mean, on the side of OpTic that lost them the game, right? Because they had the foothold. I think they were like up 5-1, right? And then there was one really important round that they lost, and then they went on a huge winning streak on the Luminosity side.
Yeah, I think Yell also came to play as.
We called him out.
And we called him out. It's like, hey, Yell, you got to step it up. If you want to win, you got to put some numbers up on the board. And he did that, and he was fragging up pretty hard. And it helps your team when, you know, one of your better players, your fraggers, are fragging.
That certainly goes a long way in the game of Counter-Strike. And it's also interesting to note both oppers on both sides of this were able to kind of input. We saw Yell come alive, like you're saying. Then Alu was also doing just a tremendous amount of work there, not albeit enough for them to pick up the W. But I believe we have our first replay loaded up, and it's going to be round 7.
Yeah, so this is the round I was talking about. This is the one that gets LG's streak going. So the opening pick goes in the way of Yell, so he gets a pick from Sandwich. And you see him going down right there. Freiburg and Alu trading out some kills, and it's a 3v3 at this point. The round ends up going more in favor of OpTic as they get the bomb down, and it ends up in a 1v2 with PKL retaking from old bomb with an op, and, you know, just a flashbang, right? So huge advantage here for OpTic. Almost everyone would say that retaking on the outside site, even if you know where people are and you don't have a smoke, is super low probability, right? But then you get that peek from HS right there. That peek is completely unnecessary. All HS needs to do is just wait and make sure that, you know, they can take a 2v1 fight there. And that one decision to peek towards old bomb unnecessarily, right? He doesn't even need to know if he's there. Just sit where you are. Literally sit on the bomb, and that opens the floodgates, and LG wins, I think, the next 8 rounds after that, and they end the half 9-6. So it goes from 1-5 to 9-6.
Yeah.
Just right after that round.
I think in that spot of HS, he's probably in a bad spot. He knows that he wants to make a play, but maybe, as he said,
he doesn't need to.
You have to wait. Just wait it out.
Yeah.
So at least if I do die, say I'm HS, if I do get killed, Alu's right there to bait me and trade it out. But he didn't give Alu an opportunity, and they lost a round and a lot of momentum.
A seemingly rough day for HS. Not only that, he did catch a grenade last game in Inferno and Pit. Not that that really weighs into the equation here, but all it does take is one instance like that, one situation where you basically just, you know, set the tone for the rest of the game potentially.
Yeah, every round matters. I remember Freakazoid used to say that on Cloud9. He'd be like, "We need every round." Right, you already have a big lead. Get another round. Get them all. Like, why would you give him any kind of like extra shot of coming back?
No time to slack. Yeah, we're gonna take a look at round 13, where Luminosity didn't let any slack in there within this retake.
So we see LG with the inside hold. Is Showtime's about to, as you see the nades come over, it gets an easy kill. Fall back, reposition yourself, make it so they keep guessing. As you see, Alu's trying to spam it, trying to get in that situation, and Pickle has a kill. HS tries to make a move. He gets one, but gets taken out. And what I like about this is that Luminosity 2-on-2, they're pushing together. We have Yell up top, and then Cello on right on bottom, and so they, you know, they have the kills, work together, not make too many mistakes, and just.
I think we saw them do a similar retake on Mirage last week, wasn't it? Where like I think their B players got double entried, and it was Yell and PKL like jumping out of market and getting like 2 kills really quickly and winning a 3v5 retake on Mirage. So they've done this. They understand that concept of like, there's this window of time in the beginning of a retake where if like you can turn up the velocity really fast, it just catches the T's in kind of like this in between no man's land.
The sort of like limbo. I mean, you're essentially catching them off guard, and you know that can lead to more and more openings for Windows, to the point where you just catch them with their pants down, regardless.
That's the colloquialism I was waiting for. I was just like, "Are you gonna do it?" He did it.
Well, you know, I don't think it's you know, too terrible of a thing. Either way, we do actually see Freiburg get caught with his pants down here, right? Round 18 is we do see him get picked. Talk us through this one, guys.
So as this one, you see right there, Freiburg, as he gets picked off, very risky peak, especially as Alu can't help him. Now, Alu is in a terrible spot. His teammates get picked off. I mean, he's expecting them to make a mistake for him to just stand there and hold that angle. You have to be a little active. You have to talk with Mixwell, maybe toss a flash for you, reposition yourself, or, you know, just not do nothing. As you see OpTic, one pick is like a lot of X versus 1 kind of situations for OpTic where they put themselves in bad spots and it kind of just snowballed in favor of Luminosity to where there's no help. You get picked off, you have to make something happen.
Like that's how the outside bomb spot on train works, right? Like that's why it's so hard to observe for people like Prius, right? It's just so many things can happen at once, and that's how the T's want to play it. You kind of want to be communicating like the T Ivy guys to the mid to the pop dog, right? So like right as any one of those 3 locations makes contact, all of the other 2 push forward, and therefore it creates like 3 angles of attack, and it's just hard to deal with.
Then when you add the usage of Molotovs on top of that, and you sort of flush them out of their spots, it kind of creates this just sort of a
blender
shooting fish in a barrel as they're scrambling to find a new spot within the bomb site. Either way, if you don't know what we're talking about, let's just go ahead and send you right where you need to go to do that. Head over to youtube.com/ESLCS, where you can watch this VOD and many more videos on demand throughout the entirety of this season and last season. So head over there, make sure you're watching something that gets your brain going on this fine Wednesday evening. Either way, we've got a banger of a matchup coming up next. We've got SK and we've got Cloud9. Guys, are we hyped? Are we hyped?
I have my C9 jersey on under this shirt, right? So like, I don't want to be completely biased, but you know, I have my jersey on today.
Well, I don't know those guys, so I mean, if I did, I think I got a jersey in the trunk of my car or something like that. Anyway, we're gonna go to a quick break. When we come back, it will be the rematch of the finalists of Cologne. We've got Cloud9, we've got SK, so make sure you're here with us.